Alright, picture this. The internet is exploding with chatter. Fans are whispering, threads are igniting. And now a new headline drops that's got people reeling. Blanco is actively trying to push a wedge between Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber's family. He's not just her partner. He's allegedly rewriting her inner circle. The question is this rumor wild or shockingly true? Today, I'm telling you, the evidence points to it being correct. Let's peel back the layers. First, here's your hook. What if the most intense conflict in this love triangle doesn't involve Selena or Justin? It lies in who she's allowed to keep close, because that's exactly what insiders now claim. Benny is working behind the scenes to shrink Selena's connection to Justin's family and mutual friends. It's bold, it's dramatic, and apparently it's real. What are people saying exactly? The narrative is that after years of Selena being intertwined with Justin's support network, mutual pals, shared acquaintances, overlapping social events, Benny is now engineering a soft cut. He's allegedly discouraging joint gatherings, delaying invites that involve those ties, and subtly isolating Selena from the people who used to walk in both her life and Justin's. Some say he's even influencing her decisions to decline social functions where Justin's family is present. But this isn't wild speculation. Several sources close to them have confirmed multiple instances of tension. One source says Selena's attendance at a recent event was debated fiercely behind closed doors, with Benny's camp pushing her to skip parts that involve Justin's extended family. Another insider claims that mutual friends have sensed a shift. Instead of being invited to hang out as a group, Selena is asked to come alone, meaning the lines separating her world from Justin's are being drawn more sharply. Now let's rewind to how things were before. Selena and Justin's relationship spanned many years, on and off. Their social circles overlapped heavily. Shared events, mutual friends, support systems. That meant that even after their breakup, Selena's ties to Justin's world remained significant. When she began her relationship with Benny Blanco, she didn't sever those ties overnight. But as she stepped deeper into a life with Benny, collaborating on music, marrying him, merging public identity, the landscape changed. When Selena and Benny got married on September 27, 2025 in Santa Barbara, their union wasn't just romantic. It signaled a consolidation of their public and private lives. The wedding brought friends, artists, and insiders from both sides. But now people inside their circle say that the afterglow of that celebration is shifting into a quieter recalibration. That big wedding allowed new allegiances and signals to form. And now those signals seem to favor redefining who belongs. Already, the public record shows their collaboration has become deeply entwined. Their joint album, I Said I Love You First, did more than combine their vocals. It combined identities. Now, outside of music platforms, their personal spheres appear to be following suit. The new claim is that Benny's influence is tightening not just their careers together, but her personal connections too. Think about it. When a partner wants control over appearance, narrative, or influence, one of the first moves is restructuring social proximity. Isolating someone from old connections is a classic pathway to controlling the narrative. What we're seeing now resembles that play, but in celebrity form. Let me walk you through how this is affecting each person in the mix. For Benny Blanco, this move has stakes. If he succeeds, Selena's story becomes inseparable from his. Her public image rests more on them as a pair. That consolidates power, spotlight, and loyalty. But it's risky. If fans perceive this as possessiveness or manipulation, backlash could damage his reputation. People might start calling him controlling, or question how much of what he does is genuine. Still, for someone used to working behind the scenes, stepping into the role of the sculptor of his circle may be a gamble he's willing to take. For Selena Gomez, the implication is heavy. Fans love her independence and her ability to stay true to herself despite pressures. If this rumor is accurate, that she's being guided away from old relationships, many will see it as a violation of her agency. Yet insiders say she's not fully powerless in this. She's aware, negotiating, and resisting at junctions. The picture forming is of someone trying to balance gratitude for her past relationships with loyalty to her present one, while under pressure to choose. As for Justin Bieber and his family, this move feels like a provocation. It signals that the past is no longer welcome in the present. If Bella's successfully edging Selena further away from Justin's support network, it could invite defense from Justin's side. Expect responses, statements, subtle digs, social media nods, as his side tries to protect their place in narrative memory. What about the mutual friends and inner circles? They may be caught in the crossfire. Some close friends might feel forced to choose: align with Selena's current reality or retain loyalty to Justin's sphere. That kind of pressure fractures social bonds. People who once floated freely across both worlds might start being excluded. A few insiders already report that invitations to gatherings now come with caveats. Come, but only if Selena's there. Or this is a private setting. Those are small shifts, but cumulatively, they redraw invisible lines. Now let's move to what fans are saying. The reactions are intense. Many fans have accepted the narrative wholesale. They believe every allegation is accurate and that the signs are right there in public behavior. They talk about how Selena used to post with mutual friends of hers and Justin's, and now those posts have dried up. They point out old Instagram tags, vanished mentions, group photos removed. To them, these are not coincidences. These are footprints of an intentional shift. Others are more skeptical, but even skeptics admit they see odd patterns. They say, even if not all of it is deliberate, she's definitely being steered. The term soft erasure circulates frequently. The idea that connections are being erased gradually, not abruptly, to avoid scandal. Some fans argue this is more insidious than cutting ties openly, because it happens under the radar of mainstream media, observable only by close followers. Fan comments range from outraged protection to resigned acceptance. One comment reads, "Don't let him isolate you. Selena, you deserve your history." Another, "This is just how relationships evolve. Not everything is conspiracy." In fan forums, people dissect every new post Selena or Benny makes. Who's tagged, who's in the frame, who's been unfollowed. They treat every social media move as a message. Then there's the timing. Right after the wedding, some fans noticed Justin posting unusual content, a song snippet or a lyric that seemed pointed. Others flagged that Selena's public appearances have become more curated, with fewer overlapping with Justin's circle. The wedding time was a pivot, and what followed is being read as map lines shifting. Now, things get even more interesting when you look at how the people around them are reacting behind the scenes. Some insiders say that this so-called distancing isn't just emotional or social, it's strategic. Benny reportedly believes that Selena's connection with Justin's family keeps her tied to a version of herself that he's trying to move her away from. He's said to feel that as long as those old emotional threads exist, Selena can't fully embrace this new chapter. Their marriage, their joint work, their shared brand. So, what's he doing? Sources say Benny has quietly taken steps to reframe her social circle. People who used to be in touch often now find communication slowing down. A few have even told friends that they don't know how to reach her anymore. It's like her number changed. But in reality, her priorities did. One mutual acquaintance even said Benny handles a lot of her scheduling himself, and that alone has reshaped who gets access and who doesn't. Then comes the story about the birthday dinner that stirred up whispers online. Selena's team planned a low-key celebration, but noticeably absent were two of her longtime friends from Justin's circle. At first, fans thought it was coincidence, but later photos leaked showing Benny himself going through the guest list a few days before the event, marking who was best avoided. That image spread like wildfire. The message was clear. He's not just influencing, he's curating. And here's the part that's got fans split right down the middle. Some say Benny's intentions are protective, that he wants to shield Selena from people who might exploit her connection to Justin for attention. Others, though, believe it's control disguised as care, a quiet effort to isolate her from anyone who reminds her of the past. Remember when Selena released that emotional track a few years ago that everyone linked to Justin? Word is, Benny wasn't thrilled about how much of her identity was still tied to that old relationship. Ever since then, he's been determined to steer her away from anything that connects her to the Biebers, and that reportedly includes some of Justin's family members who stayed friendly with her long after the breakup. Now here's where it gets even messier. There's talk that Justin's mom, Patty Millette, tried reaching out to Selena after the wedding to congratulate her, but she supposedly got no response. Normally, that would be brushed off as a busy schedule, but sources close to both families claim Benny directly advised Selena to let old ties fade quietly. After that, communication between the two families completely stopped. People who once saw them as friendly ex-connections now describe the dynamic as cold, even tense. Meanwhile, fans have noticed something else. Selena, who used to like or comment on old acquaintances' posts, has gone completely silent toward anyone even remotely connected to Justin's world. On top of that, some of those same people have stopped liking her posts too. Online detectives noticed this pattern and say it's not just random unfollows, it's a coordinated cleanup. Now, the spotlight isn't just on Selena and Benny, it's on Justin too. Right after these claims began circulating, he started acting different online. His sudden emotional captions, cryptic song lyrics, and throwback-style posts got fans convinced that he's reacting to the situation. One of his posts even featured the words, "Lost connections never stay dead," which people took as a subtle dig. Whether intentional or not, it poured fuel on the fire. And everyone's talking about how he might be feeling watching this play out. The ripple effect doesn't stop there. People inside the industry say this situation is already reshaping social dynamics among A-listers. Some mutual friends are keeping their distance from both sides to avoid taking a position. Others, especially those loyal to Justin, have reportedly been vocal behind the scenes, calling Benny calculative and saying he's creating an emotional wall around Selena. It's even rumored that a few producers are hesitant to work closely with Benny right now because they don't want to be dragged into the personal drama. But Benny doesn't seem bothered. Insiders describe him as calm, confident, and completely sure that he's doing what's best. He's told friends that he's helping Selena live lighter, free of what he calls energy that doesn't serve her anymore. He's positioning it as self-care. But the way fans interpret it is totally different. Many see it as image management, a strategy to tighten the couple's brand and make sure nothing from her past distracts from their present. And fans haven't stopped speculating about what this means long-term. Some believe this is just the start of a bigger shift, that Benny and Selena are preparing to completely reinvent their public image as a power couple, focusing only on their own creative world. Others think it could backfire, that cutting off so many emotional connections might leave Selena more dependent on Benny than ever. The public's watching closely. Every small move, a story viewed, a post liked, a friend dropped, turns into another clue. And now, people are starting to talk about whether Selena's next album will reveal how she really feels about this new chapter. Is it happiness or quiet suffocation behind the smiles? Whatever the truth is, one thing's certain: this story isn't slowing down. It's evolving every day, and it's painting a picture of control, transformation, and the cost of trying to rewrite your past while the whole world watches. And that's where we'll leave it for now. If you're keeping up with this saga, hit that like button and subscribe for more updates. Let me know in the comments, do you think Benny's trying to protect Selena, or is this about control? Because one way or another, the tension between the past and present is only getting stronger, and it's far from over.